Before we embark on the journey within the pages of Hawthorn Manor, Secrets Unveiled, take a moment to immerse yourself in the world of Hawthorn Manor. Picture the idyllic English village, the grandeur of the manor, an English idol of history and charm. Hawthorn Manor is nestled in the heart of an idyllic English village, surrounded by picturesque countryside and rolling hills. The village exudes charm with its cobblestone streets, quaint cottages adorned with colorful gardens, and a sense of timelessness that transports visitors to another era. As you approach Hawthorn Manor, the imposing wrought iron gates give way to a tree-lined driveway, leading you past manicured lawns and well-tended flower beds. The manor itself stands as a testament to history, its grand facade boasting intricate architectural details that harken back to its origins. Stepping through the impressive front doors, you're greeted by an interior that seamlessly blends opulence and comfort. The grand foyer features a sweeping staircase, its banisters adorned with ornate carvings. Expansive windows allow natural light to flood the rooms, illuminating the antique furniture, exquisite tapestries, and cherished family portraits that adorn the walls. The manor's library is a haven of knowledge, with shelves lined from floor to ceiling with leather-bound books. The fireplace crackles warmly, inviting visitors to settle into one of the plush armchairs, and lose themselves in literature or contemplation. The adjoining drawing room is equally inviting, with its comfortable seating and panoramic views of the meticulously maintained gardens. Hawthorn Manor's gardens are a tranquil oasis, a symphony of colors and fragrances that change with the seasons. Winding pathways lead you past blooming roses, vibrant flower beds, and ancient trees that seem to whisper secrets of generations past. A serene pond reflects the sky above, while a charming gazebo offers a peaceful retreat to enjoy the beauty of nature. The village itself is a close-knit community, where everyone knows each other's name. The local pub, with its thatched roof and cozy interiors, serves as a gathering place for villagers to share stories and laughter. The village green hosts seasonal fairs and events, fostering a strong sense of camaraderie among the residents. In the heart of the English countryside, Hawthorn Manor and its surrounding village embody the essence of an English idyll. It's a place where time slows down, where history and nature intertwine, and where the bonds of community are as enduring as the beauty that surrounds them. Chapter 1: Secrets in the Manor. The rain fell in a relentless rhythm against the windows of Hawthorn Manor, a sprawling estate nestled deep within the English countryside. Lady Evelyn Sinclair, the enigmatic matriarch of the Sinclair family, stared out at the gloomy landscape with a mixture of pensiveness and apprehension. Her once lively eyes now held a hint of sadness, concealed beneath a carefully maintained facade of elegance. The mansion was filled with an air of secrecy, and Lady Evelyn's own secrets seemed to mirror the ominous atmosphere. The Sinclair family had gathered for a weekend retreat, an event that had become an annual tradition. But this year, the undertone was different, as if an invisible thread of tension wove through every conversation and smile. It wasn't long before whispers of financial troubles and hidden motives reached Lady Evelyn's ears. She had always been the one to hold the family together, but now, even her influence seemed to wane. As the evening drew near, the drawing room was adorned with dimmed lamps and plush furniture. The family members mingled, each wearing their own mask of civility. Sir Charles Sinclair, a man known for his sharp wit, engaged in conversation with his wife, Lady Margaret. Their words were cordial, but their eyes held a glint of calculation. Meanwhile, their daughter, Elizabeth, sat alone by the window, her gaze fixed on the stormy horizon. The sound of footsteps on the creaking floorboards caught Lady Evelyn's attention. It was Henry, her eldest son. His eyes held a mixture of guilt and desperation. "Mother, we need to talk," he said in a hushed tone, leading her to a corner of the room. "I've heard the rumors, Henry," she replied, her voice barely audible above the soft murmur of the gathering. "Is it true? Are we facing ruin?" Henry hesitated before nodding reluctantly. "I've made some terrible investments, Mother. If we don't find a solution soon, Hawthorn Manor will slip through our fingers." Lady Evelyn's heart sank, but her resolve remained unshaken. She had always been a woman of resourcefulness, and she wasn't about to let her family's legacy crumble. "We must keep this information hidden for now," she said, her eyes narrowing with determination. "But we must also be wary of the motives of those around us." As the evening progressed, secrets hung in the air like a thick fog. Lady Evelyn moved through the crowd, observing the subtle glances exchanged, the whispered conversations that ceased abruptly upon her approach. She couldn't shake the feeling that her family was harboring more than just financial troubles. There was a web of deceit woven into their interactions. Chapter 2: Whispers of Suspicion. The morning sun cast a golden glow over Hawthorn Manor, but the air was heavy, with an unspoken tension that clung to the corridors like a persistent shadow. Lady Evelyn, resolute as ever, descended the grand staircase to find the family already gathered in the dining hall for breakfast. The events of the previous night seemed to hang in the air like a veil, but no one dared to address the unsolved mystery that had disturbed their evening. "Good morning, Mother," Henry greeted her, his usual confidence replaced by a sense of unease. "Good morning, Henry," she replied, offering a small smile that masked her own concerns. "We must proceed with caution." The breakfast table was adorned with a lavish spread of food, but the tension was palpable, and conversation was limited to polite pleasantries. Lady Margaret, ever the socialite, attempted to steer the discussions toward trivial matters, but her eyes betrayed the worry that had taken root within her. Elizabeth, quiet and observant, was the first to break the uneasy silence. "Did anyone else hear that scream last night?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. The room fell silent, and the family exchanged glances that spoke volumes. It was clear that they were all harboring their own suspicions, their own theories about what had transpired. The secrets they held were like fragile glass, threatening to shatter and expose the truth. Sir Charles cleared his throat, attempting to regain his composure. "It was probably just a fox or some other animal in the woods," he said dismissively, though his eyes flickered with uncertainty. As the family members continued their awkward meal, Lady Evelyn's mind raced. The scream was not a mere product of the imagination, it was a tangible reminder that the manor was harboring more than just financial difficulties. There was a deeper, darker secret lurking within its walls. After breakfast, Lady Evelyn retreated to the library, a room filled with shelves of old books and hidden corners that held the whispers of generations past. She pulled a leather-bound journal from the shelf, a relic from her grandmother's time, and began to pore over its pages. The entries spoke of alliances and betrayals, of a history filled with clandestine affairs and power struggles. As she read, a name stood out: Nathaniel Blackwood, a distant relative, who had disappeared mysteriously decades ago. Lady Evelyn's heart raced as she realized that the key to the manor's secrets might lie in uncovering what had happened to Nathaniel all those years ago. With renewed determination, Lady Evelyn assembled the family in the drawing room once more, her gaze steady as she addressed them. "I believe it's time we confront the truth that has been hidden among us for too long," she declared. Tension hung thick in the air as Lady Evelyn unveiled her findings, recounting the story of Nathaniel Blackwood's disappearance and the suspicions that had plagued the family for generations. The Sinclair family members exchanged glances, the weight of their shared history finally coming to the surface. The manor's atmosphere crackled, with electricity as they vowed to uncover the truth, to shed light on the darkness that had enveloped their family for so long. But as they delved deeper into their investigation, they would soon discover that the secrets of Hawthorn Manor ran far deeper than they could have ever imagined. Chapter 3: Unraveling the Threads. The days that followed were consumed by the family's relentless quest for answers. Lady Evelyn, Henry, and Elizabeth pored over old records, dusty letters, and forgotten photographs, piecing together the puzzle that had haunted their family for generations. The more they uncovered, the clearer it became that the truth was as elusive as a ghostly whisper. Hidden passages were discovered, their existence revealing that the manor held secrets even the family had been unaware of. Lady Evelyn and her companions traversed these hidden corridors, their footsteps echoing through the dimly lit passages as they sought clues that might finally bring Nathaniel Blackwood's fate to light. In the midst of their investigation, a stranger arrived at the manor, a private investigator named William Hastings. His entrance was unannounced, and his purpose remained shrouded in mystery. Lady Evelyn, however, recognized the potential value of his skills and welcomed him into the fold. Hastings' presence brought a new dynamic to the family's search for truth. With his keen instincts and unrelenting curiosity, he unearthed connections and clues that had previously eluded them. His inquiries led the family to question the motivations of those closest to them, revealing that deception ran far deeper than they had ever imagined. As the investigation progressed, tensions within the Sinclair family began to escalate. Suspicions were cast on one another, and alliances that had once seemed unbreakable began to crumble. Lady Margaret's charming veneer faltered, revealing a side of her that no one had suspected, a woman driven by ambition and a desire to secure her family's position at any cost. Elizabeth, too, harbored secrets of her own. Her interactions with a brooding groundskeeper named Thomas hinted at a connection that went beyond the surface, and as the layers of their relationship were peeled back, a forbidden love story emerged, entangled with the mysteries of the manor itself. As the web of deceit tightened, Lady Evelyn found herself torn between her duty to protect her family's legacy and her desire to expose the truth, no matter how painful it might be. The realization that those closest to her were capable of betrayal weighed heavily on her heart, yet she pressed on, determined to unravel the threads that had bound their lives for so long. One stormy night, as thunder rumbled in the distance, the pieces of the puzzle began to align. Hastings, Lady Evelyn, and her companions gathered in the library, their faces illuminated by the flickering candlelight. The truth, as they had pieced it together, was both shocking and heartbreaking, a tale of love, jealousy, and a desperate bid for power. The final pieces of the puzzle fell into place, revealing the fate of Nathaniel Blackwood and the events that had shaped their family's destiny. The intricate tapestry of deception that had been woven through generations was finally laid bare, exposing the lengths to which people would go to protect their secrets. As dawn broke over Hawthorn Manor, the weight of the truth hung heavy in the air. The Sinclair family had come face to face with their own demons, their lives forever changed by the revelations that had been unearthed. And as they surveyed the manor, now bathed in the gentle light of a new day, they knew that the journey to redemption had only just begun. Chapter 4: Redemption and Resolutions. The aftermath of the truth's revelation had left the Sinclair family in a state of disarray. The once unbreakable bonds that held them together had been strained to their limits, and the weight of their shared history was both a burden and an opportunity for redemption. Lady Evelyn sat in the garden, the sun warming her face as she gazed at the manor's facade. She had made the difficult decision to confront her family's past, and in doing so, had uncovered the vulnerabilities that had been hidden beneath their polished exteriors. The journey had been painful, but it had also given her family a chance to heal and rebuild. As the days turned into weeks, Lady Margaret's ambition had transformed into remorse. She sought forgiveness from her family, her vulnerability a stark contrast to the cold facade she had once maintained. The family, in turn, began to understand that their own choices had contributed to the cycle of deception that had plagued them for generations. Elizabeth and Thomas, their love now no longer hidden in shadows, faced their own challenges. The manor's secrets had tested their bond, but they emerged stronger, determined to create a future that defied the mistakes of the past. Hastings, the enigmatic investigator, had uncovered not only the truth behind Nathaniel Blackwood's disappearance but also his own connection to the manor's history. His presence had catalyzed the unraveling of secrets, yet he found himself drawn to Lady Evelyn, their shared determination and unwavering resolve forging an unexpected bond. In a climactic confrontation, the family came together to confront the consequences of their actions. They faced the truth of their betrayal, of the pain they had inflicted upon one another. Tears were shed, but they were tears of catharsis, a release from the bonds of deceit that had held them captive for so long. The manor, once a symbol of secrets and darkness, now stood as a testament to the family's resilience and their commitment to change. The echoes of the past still lingered, but they were no longer a haunting presence. Instead, they served as a reminder of the journey they had undertaken, a journey that had ultimately led them toward redemption. As Lady Evelyn looked out at the manor's gardens, a sense of peace settled over her. The mystery that had once shrouded her family had been unraveled, and in its place, they had found understanding, forgiveness, and the opportunity to begin anew. The sinuous path they had followed had led them to a place of healing, where the sins of the past had been transformed into lessons for the future. And so, with the sun setting over Hawthorn Manor, the Sinclair family stood united, their faces illuminated by the warm hues of twilight. The journey had been arduous, but the bonds they had forged were unbreakable. As they looked toward the horizon, a sense of hope filled the air, a hope that their story, though marred by deception, had found its resolution, and that their legacy would be defined not by their mistakes, but by their strength in overcoming them.